Hey, here's a tip for Team Parent, all about practice. I have just five rules or guidelines for practicing. So parents ask a lot about what to practice, how to practice. It's probably my most common question. And I think what they're really saying or what they're really asking is for something that's practical. They're thinking, really, how am I going to fit this into my day and actually get somewhere with my child? So I have really thought about it. I've boiled it down to just the bare minimum, and this is what I've come up with. So just 5 guidelines to have an effective practice. I'm going to list those guidelines, and then I'm going to come back and talk about each one briefly, and then I'm going to kind of put it in a scenario with a piece. All right, so the first one is listen. The second one, less is more. The third guideline, one goal at a time. The fourth guideline is be in the now. And the fifth guideline is 3 times correctly and move on. All right, so number 1, listen. You have to listen to the piece that you're working on. Number 2, less is more. So you're going to pick just one section or one measure to work on, and that's it. Rule number 3 is one goal at a time. So within that small section that you chose, you're going to pick one goal to accomplish. Rule number 4, be in the now, meaning that you have to stay present with that goal and think about just that goal, and don't let yourself get distracted by another goal that comes up. Once you master the current goal, it's fine. You can change the goal and work on the other one. So if something occurs to you in the middle, that's fine. Don't get off on a tangent. Just make a note of it, and that can be the next goal after we've mastered this one. So don't dwell on other mistakes, and then also don't worry about what's coming up in the future. And then the last one, 5, is 3 times correctly. So once you have that spot, that goal, do it 3 times correctly, 3 times really well, and then move on with your day. All right, so let's put this in a piece. Let's use Twinkle Theme. So rule number 1 is to listen. Listen to Twinkle Theme. Rule number 2, less is more. So let's just choose the A section or the bread section to work on. That's where we're working in. And we can go even smaller than that, just the first measure. We'll work there. Okay. The next rule number 3, one goal at a time. Okay, so let's make our goal in the first measure to change from the A string to the E string, just really cleanly, so with a nice drop in that elbow. Okay, rule number 4, be in the now. We're only going to focus on that elbow drop to make sure we get a nice change from A to E. Well, while you're playing it, I noticed that your bow hold was looking really weird. So I'm going to keep that in the back of my mind. I might even write it down in my notebook. Oh, bow hold, that's something else we need to work on. So then we're going to play that first measure. We're going to do it 3 times with a really nice change from A to E. Got it. We did it 3 times. Great. Now it's time to move on. We're going to save that other goal, that bow hold that came up. We're going to save that for next week because we're going to spend all week mastering from A to E. And we may even, since we wrote that down in our notebook, bring it up to our teacher in the next lesson. Oh, I noticed that while we were doing this was happening. And then the teacher may decide that that's something they want to work on right now, or they may have something else that they feel might be a little bit more immediate. But that's a really quick way to make sure that you're staying on task, you're staying focused, and you're actually getting something out of your practice. So again, rule number 1, listen. Rule number 2, less is more. Rule number 3, one goal at a time. Rule number 4, be in the now. And rule number 5, 3 times correctly and move on. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.